Welcome to the complete analysis video on Vera La Flamme, where I'll go through the entire analyzed score on piano. There's a lot to cover, so I'm going to skip through sections that repeat. I won't discuss the structure of the piece other than to say it's not in sonata form. The momentum of the piece just gets stronger and stronger, yet the section lengths are still nice and proportional like we discuss in my Composing Like Scriabin course. What we discover analyzing this piece using set theory is how diverse the harmony of the piece is. Typically, Scriabin limits his harmonic language to give the work a unified sound, but in this piece he uses a range of harmony including dark octatonic and whole tone chords, tasty acoustic sets, occasional harmonic subsets, and even some diatonic subsets. Let's get into it at the piano. We begin on a sustained French 6 chord, which is a pretty bold chord to start out with. Scriabin has earlier music that starts on a French 6 in a functional way used briefly as a dissonance. But here he's holding it out as though it's a consonance. The right hand is presenting the primary motif with dyads. And it uses the typical mode of the mystic scale on E. I marked the transposition levels in green below, and you'll notice lots of shifting up a minor third throughout the piece. We repeat the primary motif up 3 semitones on G, and at first we get 418, an octatonic passing chord. We go up a minor third again, and he does some clever voice leading to get us to B minor. The voice leading between the passing chords in this piece is usually contrary motion moving by half step. Then we repeat the sustains, but with an extra note on the French 6, giving us the 5-note whole tone chord, 7-9 sharp 11 no 5th. We end up arriving at B minor major 7, and again he gets there with good voice leading, passing through the octatonic chord 532. Now we're grounded in something like B harmonic minor, which we get 6 notes of with set 6C24. We do a shift up a minor third to D minor major 7 that ends up moving down to a surprise octatonic sharp 9 chord on B flat. I don't have a great explanation as to how he got to that chord. All I can say is that it fits with the melody, it's an awesome dark surprise, and he easily gets back to B minor with the same chromatic voice leading again. That section repeats, and then we get more motion arriving at an E flat 9 chord, keeping B in the bass throughout. The rhythm in this section is difficult to wrap your mind around with the 5s against 3s, and it really creates a sense of mysterious motion. Notice how from measure to measure the feeling portrayed by the harmony changes by moving between dissonant octatonic subsets to consonant subsets of both acoustic and diatonic. Measure 45 especially sounds consonant, where he writes "with a hidden joy," playing consonant 633 voiced in 5ths on top. This section repeats 2 more times, each time being transposed down a major third. Then at the more and more animated section, we go down a major third again, but this time we get just an E minor triad with B in the bass. Then a shift to E13, then a sudden shift up a minor third. This section repeats, and the next time we move up a minor third, the primary motif sneaks in and we get an entire acoustic set. It keeps shifting up and down minor thirds till we get to this weird 7-note passing chords that introduces 16th notes. And then up a minor third to E, playing a consonant subset of the acoustic and diatonic set. The primary motif returns, and we get the entire acoustic set with B in the bass, which is the mode that gives us B melodic minor, and then we eventually get E in the bass. Now the markings are glowing, luminous, reflecting the leitmotif discussed in the video on Scriabin's archetypal motifs, and another idea mentioned in that video is the two-note fanfare motif, which we get the name of from this marking like a fanfare with these two notes. The story of the symbolic motifs are telling us is that the fanfare summoning persistently calls for more intensity, and light grows brighter and more luminous as the piece continues. So we move to tritone to get to B flat, playing a subset of the mystic chord. Then a few pitches shift chromatically to a very uncommon set, 522. This set is actually exclusively a subset of the harmonic set, which I discuss in this video. I want to point out that this section is similar to when these motifs were first presented, just reharmonized and with a busier texture. Just like earlier, the bass went down a fifth, then back, then up a minor third, this time presented more epically. Most of the dramatic shifts in this piece are done by a movement of a tritone, so this is a good example where we get to a G mystic chord by tritone, and notice how it's being voiced with such close intervals with what we might call diatonic seconds and thirds. So that entire section repeats again a minor third below, and we end up in E using the entire acoustic scale, where a new chromatic motif is introduced starting on the sharp 11 scale degree. I already made a short video analyzing these 4 bars, but I'll mention what's notable is that we get a rare transposition of a whole step from E to D, which makes sense in terms of parsimonious voice leadings since the acoustic set has so many whole steps. The motif in yellow responds in stacked fourths on scale degrees 3, 13, and 9. 3, 6, 9. That section repeats, and then we get the primary motif with responses by the stacked fourths motif. I love when this happens when a piece has developed a bunch, but yet you arrive right back to where you started at the very beginning. This section is just like the beginning in that it presents the primary motif and transposes by minor thirds. He just adds lots of tremolos and stacked fourths and uses the full acoustic scale. Just like the beginning, we transpose a minor third twice, bringing us to B flat, where we sustain a little longer just like the beginning, and then we do a tritone jump to E, but not to E acoustic. Instead, a major 7 sharp 11 13 chord called 625. This set belongs to the diatonic and harmonic set, and it's more consonant than the acoustic set as it has less tritones. Here the fourths are stacked on scale degrees 7, 3, and 13. 7, 3, 6. We go back to B flat briefly, and then the piece ends arpeggiating the E 625 set. What an incredible piece! He creates a lot of space in the beginning and then contrasts it by filling that space with busy textures and new motifs. The harmony freely shifts between dissonance and consonance to portray the shifting mood, and the archetypal motifs call out for more and more intensity throughout. There might have been more repetition in this piece than you realized, and gaining as much mileage as possible from your motifs is something we discuss in my Composing Like Scriabin course, so consider checking it out at the link below or on my website. Please join the Discord and let me know if you have any questions about the piece in the comments, and like and subscribe. Cheers!